Dave the teacher loved his job, he loved his students. Every morning he would roll into the classroom with a big smile on his face, ready to inspire young minds. His passion for teaching was evident in the way he engaged with his students, always finding creative ways to make learning fun and accessible for everyone. He even loved his wheelchair. It gave him a cool way to get around. To Dave, his wheelchair was more than just a mobility aid, it was a symbol of his independence and resilience. He had customized it with bright colors and stickers, making it a true reflection of his vibrant personality.
Bambi the farmer loved her animals. She loved her land. Every day she would wake up at the crack of dawn to tend to her farm, feeding the chickens, milking the cows, and ensuring that every animal was well cared for. Her connection to the land was deep, rooted in generations of family farming. She even loved her temper, even if it scared people sometimes. Bambi's fiery spirit was well known in the community. She was fiercely protective of her farm and her way of life, and she wasn't afraid to speak her mind. Her temper was a part of her charm, a testament to her passion and determination.
Dave and Bambi were best friends, complete opposites, two peas in a pod. Despite their differences, they shared a bond that was unbreakable. They balanced each other out perfectly, with Dave's calm demeanor complementing Bambi's fiery nature. Their friendship was a beautiful example of how opposites can attract and create something truly special.
They met at the local diner. Dave was reading a book, sipping coffee. It was his favorite spot to relax and unwind after a long day of teaching. The aroma of freshly brewed coffee and the cozy atmosphere made it the perfect place for him to escape into the world of his favorite novels. Bambi was arguing with the waitress about her eggs. She had a particular way she liked her eggs cooked, and she wasn't shy about making sure they were done right. Her voice carried across the diner, catching the attention of everyone around.
Over easy means over easy, Bambi shouted. Her frustration was palpable and she wasn't about to back down. She had a reputation for being a bit of a perfectionist, especially when it came to her food.
Dave chuckled. Bambi noticed him and stomped over. Her eyes were blazing with intensity, but there was a hint of curiosity as well. She had never seen someone react to her outbursts with such calm amusement.
"You think this is funny?" she asked, frowning. Her voice was sharp, but there was a softness in her eyes that suggested she wasn't entirely serious.
Dave smiled. A little, he admitted. His smile was warm and genuine, and it seemed to disarm Bambi's anger. There was something about his calm presence that made her feel at ease.
And that was the start of a beautiful friendship. From that day on, Dave and Bambi were inseparable. They spent countless hours together, sharing stories, dreams, and laughter. Their friendship was a testament to the power of connection, proving that even the most unlikely pairs can find common ground and create something truly magical. Dave was all sunshine, always smiling, always positive. He had a way of lighting up any room he walked into, his laughter infectious and his optimism boundless. He saw the good in everything and everyone. To Dave, every cloud had a silver lining and every challenge was just an opportunity in disguise.
Bambi was all grumbles. She had a knack for spotting the flaws in any situation, her sharp wit often cutting through the fluff. Always frowning, always ready with a sarcastic comment, Bambi's humor was dry, her outlook often tinged with a hint of cynicism. She saw the bad before the good. To her, it was a way of protecting herself from disappointment, a shield against the unpredictability of life. "You're too nice, Dave," Bambi grumbled one day as they walked through the park. The sun was shining, birds were singing, but Bambi's mood was as cloudy as ever.
"You're too grumpy, Bambi," Dave shot back, laughing. His laughter was like a ray of sunshine breaking through her stormy demeanor.
Bambi kicked a rock, her frustration evident in the small, defiant gesture.
"Someone's got to keep things real," she muttered, her tone a mix of resignation and determination.
Dave shook his head, still smiling. "Someone's got to keep things fun," he replied, his voice full of warmth and understanding. He made a playful gesture, trying to coax a smile out of her. It was their usual dance, a balance of light and shadow.
But that was the beauty of their friendship. They were like two sides of the same coin, each bringing something unique to the table. They balanced each other out. Dave's positivity softened Bambi's edges, while her realism grounded his flights of fancy. Dave taught Bambi to see the good. He showed her the beauty in the small things, the joy in everyday moments. Bambi taught Dave to stand up for himself. She encouraged him to face challenges head-on, to not always look for the easy way out. They were two sides of the same coin, different yet complementary. Together, they navigated the ups and downs of life, each making the other better in their own way. Every Saturday, Dave and Bambi met at the park. They'd sit on a bench, people watching and making up stories about the strangers who walked by.
That guy's a secret agent, Dave whispered, pointing to a man in a trench coat.
That lady's a runaway princess, Bambi countered, nodding towards a woman in a fancy hat.
They'd spend hours like this, lost in their own world of imagination. It was their thing. One Saturday, however, their usual routine was interrupted. A crowd had gathered in the center of the park. Music blared from a boombox. Curious, Dave and Bambi wheeled and walked closer. At the center of the commotion stood a young man. He wore baggy clothes, a backwards cap, and a microphone around his neck. He was rapping, his words fast and furious.
Yo, who's got the guts to step up? Who thinks they can outrhyme the champ? He boomed, gesturing to himself with his microphone.
The crowd cheered, people nudged each other, whispering excitedly.
Dave and Bambi exchanged a look. This was new. What's going on? Bambi asked, her voice a low growl.
Looks like a rap battle, Dave answered, his eyes wide with curiosity.
The rapper scanned the crowd, his eyes finally landing on Dave and Bambi. He grinned, revealing a set of gold teeth.
How about you two, teacher and... what are you, a farmer?
The crowd laughed. Bambi bristled, her face turning red. She hated being the butt of the joke.
What's it to you?
Bambi shot back, her hand balling into a fist. Dave placed a calming hand on Bambi's arm.
We're not really the rapping type.
The rapper chuckled.
Everyone's got a rhyme inside them, unless you're too chicken to try.
The crowd joined in the rapper's laughter. Bambi felt her temper rising. She hated being called chicken even more than she hated bad eggs.
I'm not chicken, I just don't see the point of all this noise.
Dave tugged on her arm.
Bambi, let's just go.
But it was too late. The rapper grinned, sensing an easy victory.
All right, Grandma, let's see what you got.
Bambi opened her mouth to retort, but Dave stopped her.
I'll do it.
He said, surprising everyone, including himself. The crowd gasped. Bambi stared at Dave, her jaw slack. Dave, the quiet, gentle teacher, was going to rap battle?
Dave, are you sure? Bambi whispered, suddenly worried.
Dave, for the first time that day, wasn't smiling. He looked determined.
I'm tired of this guy, he said, his voice firm. Time to teach him some manners.
Bambi's heart swelled with pride. Leave it to Dave to turn a silly rap battle into a lesson on respect. The rapper, however, just laughed.
This I gotta see, he said, shaking his head.
The music started, a heavy beat that pulsed through the air. All eyes were on Dave. Dave surprised everyone with his unexpected entrance. He moved his wheelchair to the beat, finding a rhythm that captivated the audience. Then he started to rap with confidence and flair. His words weren't angry or boastful, unlike the other rappers' usual style. They were clever, funny, and full of wit. He talked about the importance of kindness, of seeing the good in others and spreading positivity. He even rhymed wheelchair with eye care, which made Bambi laugh out loud. The crowd loved it. They cheered, clapped, and even started chanting Dave's name. Crowd Dave, Dave, Dave! Even the other rapper looked genuinely impressed by Dave's performance. The rapper tried to regain control of the crowd, but it was no use. Dave had won them over with his words and his heart. He had shown everyone that rap could be more than just bragging and insults. It could be a force for good. In the end, the rapper had to admit defeat. He shook Dave's hand, a look of newfound respect on his face.
You were awesome, man, he admitted.
Dave just smiled. You were pretty good yourself, he said, always the teacher, always looking for the good.
As the crowd dispersed, Dave and Bambi walked back to their bench. The park was alive with the echoes of laughter and chatter, but for them, it felt like they were in their own little world. The event had been a whirlwind of emotions, and now, as they strolled back, they could finally take a moment to breathe and reflect. Bambi was still buzzing from the excitement. Her eyes sparkled with joy, and her energy was infectious. She couldn't stop replaying the highlights of the day in her mind, each moment more thrilling than the last.
You were amazing, she exclaimed, shaking Dave's hand. Her voice was filled with genuine admiration and pride. It wasn't just about the performance, it was about seeing her friend shine in a way she had never seen before. "Who knew you had those rhymes inside you?" she continued, her tone a mix of surprise and delight. It was as if she had discovered a hidden treasure in her friend, something that made their bond even more special.
Dave chuckled. His laughter was soft but filled with a sense of accomplishment. It was a moment of validation, not just for his talent, but for the support and belief his friend had in him. "I surprise even myself sometimes," he admitted. There was a hint of humility in his voice, a recognition that his success was as much a surprise to him as it was to Bambi.
They sat in comfortable silence for a moment, watching the sun set over the park. The sky was painted in hues of orange and pink, a perfect backdrop for their reflective mood. It was a serene moment, a pause in the chaos of the day where they could just be.
"You know," Bambi said finally for a grump, "you sure do make a good hype woman." Her words were playful, but there was an underlying truth to them. Dave had always been the more reserved one, but today he had stepped out of his shell in a way that was both surprising and inspiring.
Dave burst out laughing, and Bambi couldn't help but join him. Their laughter echoed through the park, a testament to the joy and camaraderie they shared. It was a moment of pure, unfiltered happiness, a reminder of why their friendship was so special. As the sky turned a fiery orange, they knew one thing for sure. Their friendship, much like Dave's rap skills, was one of a kind. It was a bond forged in shared experiences, mutual respect, and an unwavering belief in each other. And as they sat there watching the sunset, they knew that no matter what the future held, they would always have each other's backs.